Hello, and very warm welcome, everyone. This is Marta here. Welcome back on another YouTube tutorial. Today, I'm super excited because I'm coming with a new technique for you. I have this lovely card which I've made yesterday using some free printables from newsletter, which I was telling you about. And today, we are going to be experiment with the embossing powders. I was watching YouTube shorts and I briefly came into the quick video of the lady presenting double embossing technique, which was all about doing embossing with one folder like a background pattern and then re-emboss it with the 3D foliage. And because I like try new things, try to experiment, I was like, I love to play with the embossing, especially with the embossing powder. And when I look on this title, like double embossing, I was like, would it be working with the embossing powder? And I was like, I need to try it. And oh my word, my friends, the results are just astonishing and I absolutely love it, and I know I will be doing it over and over again. Now, I cut myself a quick card base and then I cut two panels in exactly the same size. It doesn't have to be square, it doesn't have to be any shape, like any shape form you have, that will be working. I've prepared a little mask, this one in the front you see with the little ovals, and here's my flask. I just kick it, and thanks Lord I have the coffee in the flask, because otherwise that would spill and create me a mess all over the desk. However, going back to the card, I've choose some circle dies because I thought this will create a nice pattern. You can always also try a stencil, but the whole point would be to find the stencil with a large opening area. I think this one will be looking better, but because I didn't have anything like that, I've made my own stencil which I can reuse over and over again. Now, what you can see here, I have two exactly same pieces of the card, one with this circle cut it out, and to make my life easier, I am marking them with the pencil, one on the front here and the other one on the back side, because the other one underneath, this is actually gonna be my front panel. So I wanted to keep it nice and clear, and now I'm gonna use the embossing ink. You can use ink in the pad, but for things like that, I like to keep a piece of a sponge on a side and then use a drop of the reinker. But that will be working exactly the same. If you don't have the embossing reinker, you can use your pad, you can dab a little sponge or put it directly, but I think with the sponge you have a little bit more control over it. So as you can see, I wiped those circle area, I made sure that my sponge was really saturated with the embossing ink, and now I am sprinkling it with the clear embossing powder. I'm using the clear embossing powder as my base because embossing is expensive, could be expensive, and this is gonna be my back layer anyway, so that's why I chosen the clear one, because I have this large container rather than me using 3 layers of the color one. So I've put 2 layers of the clear embossing powder, and then I'm gonna put the white embossing powder on the top of it. This way I will have this nice puffy areas which will be raised, and once it's all melt, it will be just like really shine enamel area, almost looking like those enamel badge. They're very flat, they're very nice, nicely coated. So this is why I like to use 3 layers, but do not waste too much of the white embossing powder. I just use clear one underneath it, because it's not gonna be visible anyway, and we're just about creating the little bit more rice texture. Once I melt my white powder, I'm gonna be doing the next step of the embossing. I don't think it's necessary to put 3 layers, but I do think that it's looking better if you have a little bit more embossing on top. And here you can see they just look beautifully like those large enamel dots. And as I've mentioned in the beginning, you can use the circles, you can use little hearts or something else. You know, your imagination will just lead you from here, and you can do as many other things as you like. Next step, once we have those circles really well embossed, I'm taking this stamp with text. That could be anything else. Could be a busy pattern, could be like those crackle design stamps you can have. The main thing is to have it a little bit more busy. So once I have this all embossed, now I am adding this extra embossing on top of the embossing. So we're gonna do double embossing, but it's gonna be with powders rather than with the embossing folders. And as you can see here, I am pressing, I'm trying to make sure I have a good impression with the stamp, and then I will sprinkle it with the gold embossing powder, and that will be just looking beautiful. As soon as I set the powder, I was just, wow, I love it, I love it, I love it. And that could be white and gold, but that could be pink color, like lighter, and you know, a darker one on the top. You could do tone on tone, or you can even do a little bit like a ink smooshing first, like not smooshing, blend the ink on the circle area, then put a coat of the clear embossing powder, and then put some color embossing like a script or pattern or anything else on top of it. And wow, that looks beautiful. I had a little accident here because I had my inky finger, which was like a little bit too wet from the embossing ink, and I've smeared the white paper, leaving a little bit mark, but I'm not bothered. As soon as I have melt the powder, this text melt into this white color like circular batch. It's just looking beautiful. I will show you that in a second. And oh my goodness, the level of the, you know, texture, the shininess, this absolutely amazing, like, you know, effect. I just love it, and I just could not wait to not share it with you. To make it a little bit nicer, I've decided to add some texture to the background as well. And for that, rather than crackling my piece of the paper in the embossing folder and risking that I'm gonna destroy the, you know, those little circle embossed area, I've decided to put the paper on the scoring board, and this way I'm gonna add very nice texture in the form of those strips. This is my go-to whenever I'm lazy, like I don't want to look for the embossing folder or something. I'm just adding those strips on a scoring board, and that's really nice, elegant. It gives that, you know, very clean and simple vibe, and it's very elegant look as well. To match up the card, I've decided to add a piece of the gold cardstock underneath, because first and foremost, that will be a little bit extra gold on the card, and also that extra matting layer will help me to straighten up the paper, because we have been embossing it 4 times, so that could make paper a little bit warp. So to help it straight up, I'm backing it with this gold you know, paper, and that will be just back to the be super flat again. Then I'm adding this layer with the help of the double-sided foam tape, and I will attach it to my card base. This card was very easy, very quick. It was just, you know, I was super excited when I was doing that. I wasn't sure if it's gonna be working from the beginning when I start, because I had this idea like, let me try. But then once I heat set those golden, you know, script on the white areas, that was just wow. I love it, I love it, and I'm definitely gonna be experimenting more with this look and what else I could do, maybe like by mixing different colors or like tone on tone look, see what else I could do. I add additional sentiment, which I back it up with a little piece of the black cardstock. I cut it like from the black cardstock, and then I put the gold one on top of it just so I could have a little bit shadow, and few Nuvo drops, and my card is ready. I hope you enjoy it, and if you did, please don't forget to hit a like, to share this video with your friends because maybe they would like to try it as well. And to everyone who's been watching my videos, thank you so very much. I am wishing you all a fabulous day. Stay blessed, and I hope to see you shortly. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye bye.